Hey buddy, watch this.
Hello, Regis Kilbin is the name, and Hearthstone is the game, and this is my very first Decksperiment. Now, of course, that's a play on words between deck and experiment, and it's exactly what it sounds like. I'm going to try to build a deck based on a certain card or archetype or some sort of suggestion, and then make it good. So this video will really just be about me constructing the deck, finding cards that seem to work with the goal of the deck. So identifying some internal synergies, adapting to the meta. Now that said, I'm just going to build the deck once, take it out onto the ladder for a few ranked games, and it might work and it might not. I'm not expecting to get a top tier competitive level deck out of this experiment. We just want to learn how to deck build and how to think about designing decks and then actually see them in action as well to identify our failures or our successes. So for today's Decksperiment, Old Gods was just released, and more than anything else, I want to build a deck centered around Cthulhu. Now, in the distant future, I'm sure we'll all know exactly how Cthulhu decks work. Right now, nobody really knows what they look like, what the meta is going to be, any of that stuff. So this is still very much an experiment. And I have a Priest quest, and I kind of like the idea of Priest Cthulhu decks in particular. So my deck is going to be a Priest control style Cthulhu deck. So we know for sure we're picking Priest, and we know for sure that we want Cthulhu. There is a suggested Cthulhu deck, but we're going to build our own. So this guy is obviously going to be included in the list. And I also want to search for Cthulhu to find other cards that include the Cthulhu keyword. So when it comes to Priest, two cards are showing up right away. Twilight Darkmenders. This is definitely a control style card. It has a huge heal that helps you stabilize the board in the late game as long as you've buffed your Cthulhu to a certain extent. So I'm definitely including those because remember, this is a control style Cthulhu Priest. As far as Hooded Acolyte is concerned, I think this one's a little bit less reliable and valuable than Twilight Darkmender because it's all about the Cthulhu buffs and not benefiting from Cthulhu buffs. But I'm still going to include two of them just because it is a solid minion as a 3/6 and seems like it'll fill out our mid-game curve pretty strongly. Plus, we don't really know what exactly our Cthulhu decks are going to look like. So here are more cards that include the Cthulhu keyword. As far as these are concerned, I'm really just looking for cards that give me a solid buff value, but I don't think I want to include too many of those. In other words, I don't need my Cthulhu to be a 60-60, right? If it's a 20-20, a 15-15, 30-30, anything in that range, I think I'll be happy. So I'm really more concerned right now about filling out my curve and creating some value along the way as well so I don't fall behind to aggressive decks and never stand a chance to survive. So we'll just call this Cthulhu Priest for right now and make sure that gets saved. And this is also going to be a standard format Priest, I should note. So although I'm all about wild format, this one is going to stay in standard format. So I think Beckoner of Evil is a solid addition. It's just got a good body as a 2/3 and a very solid buff as well that's instant. So if we get a couple of these off, we're already going to be able to proc our Twilight Darkmender, only playing 2 cards. So that's some good consistent early game value. Twilight Geomancer is a pass despite being taunt. I really like Disciple of Cthulhu for staying on the board early and contesting the board early because of its deal 2 damage battle cry. So I'm going to include a pair of those. We may cut this list down later, but pretty happy with that. Priest is good with 3/4s as we've seen in the past with Dark Cultist. I like Twilight Elder because it has a chance to gain value the longer it's on the board. And Priest is traditionally quite good at keeping stuff on the board. Cthulhu's Chosen is a pretty solid minion with buffs because it has Divine Shield. I'm going to go ahead and add a couple Cthulhu's Chosens because I do like the instant effect for the Cthulhu, but these may get cut just because high health minions are traditionally better in Priest. Scarum Cultist has a nice buff, but I think could be a little slow and doesn't really offer the kind of value I'm looking for in the late game. Twin Emperor Veclord, thankfully I was lucky enough to get in a pack opening. He's definitely going to be in the deck. He's perfect for Cthulhu decks, fantastic for Priest as a late game taunt. Just a lot about this is great. Doomcaller, I don't absolutely love. It's got an effect that's quite delayed when it shuffles the Cthulhu back into your deck. So in other words, it costs 8 mana to play Doomcaller for a reasonable body. You have to spend 10 mana playing Cthulhu. It's another 8 mana to play a Doomcaller to get Cthulhu back into your deck if your Cthulhu dies. And then it's yet another 10 mana to play Cthulhu a second time. So by the end, you're just talking about so much mana being spent that I can't imagine it's worth it. Now, we need our Cthulhu to get to 10 attack for sure. We're happier with 15 to 20. So I want to do a quick rundown of how many total buffs are possible. So we've got +4 here with the 2 Beckern of Evils. We've got potentially another +4 here, so that's +8. Let's say these get 1 on average, that's +10. This is another +4 in total, that's 14. Let's just say this gets 1 on average to be very conservative, that's 16. So that's 16 total plus attack that our Cthulhu could receive from our deck as it stands right now. We definitely need to get to 10 to activate these 2 cards, so that'll be helpful. I think we probably have enough to buff our Cthulhu. So I want to take a look just to make sure we're not missing anything else. Remember, I'm still learning these cards. This is like 3 hours after the expansion came out. So I think we picked up all the Cthulhu synergy cards, but I just want to double check and running through the new Old Gods cards to make sure I didn't miss anything. I also want to see if there is anything we could craft that might help, including a card like Crazed Worshipper, which looks pretty good since it does have taunt and kind of slows down the board. That said, I'm not sure I'm ready just yet to craft any epic cards that I don't know are going to be good. I want to test it a little bit and make sure that I'm not wasting my dust. I was at 11,000 dust before crafting some legendaries, so I've already fallen off quite a bit. Herald Volage is a priest legendary that I did open. I don't think he's going to fit in this deck particularly well, despite this being a late game control style priest. A lot of the stuff in our deck doesn't have card effects that are present permanently. They're only present as battle cries, so the value from Volash seems like it will fall off pretty quickly. I don't think this works in this particular deck. So what other Old Gods cards might fit into a control style priest shell? Shadow Word Horror I think is a pass just because I like it less than other kinds of area of effect spells. Shifting Shade is not a bad card by any means. This might make the cut, but we do already have quite a few 4-drops. I think we need some more late game and perhaps just a couple other early game options and some spells. So for now, I'm going to take a pass on this. I don't like Darkshire Alchemist that much. I think there are much better cards out there. So let's go ahead and filter by standard format cards. Remember, this is a standard deck, so we don't want to see any wild cards showing up and throwing our deck off. So what else does Control Priest like to run? Northstar Cleric still an auto include in virtually every priest deck because the card draw is too valuable. Power Word Shield also just a fantastic buff and helps cycle your deck, so I don't think we can give up on that. I would like to see some Shadow Word Deaths for hard removal. I think there's going to be a lot of control decks out on the ladder right now, so I want those to be there, and we do need to survive against really tough late game decks, so I don't think we can give up on that. I'm going to run 1 Holy Nova just to run against aggro decks and potentially heal up our board as needed. Double Entomb, again, just because I'm really expecting control decks, and if we can get some value out of Entomb, we're going to be really good to go in the late game. So let's look at our curve before we pick out more cards. Still maybe a little light on 2-drops, but the curve is starting to look smooth after that. I still wouldn't mind a couple late game options. We could go with Thought Steal. It's pretty good in late game fatigue style matchups. We could also go with Akanai Soul Priest, just because of the general types of value it offers. But I think I'm going to pass on both. I think I'm going to go with a Museum Curator and perhaps a double... well, we can't do Valen's Chosen, can we? It is out of the meta, or at least out of standard format. So, no Valen's Chosen. I guess that was a GVG card. I thought it was TGT, but Now I have to look to make sure. I guess it's not here, or we'd see it, right? Yeah, okay. Well, this is the new world of standard format, folks. So let's go ahead and head over to neutral minions and see if there's anything else we might want to add. We have 5 cards left. And remember, I do want some late game power type minions. I don't think Hogger Doom of Elwyn's very good in Priest just because we don't have a way to activate it ourselves. There are, of course, old legendaries, which might still be good. Ysera could get us some value. But I think Ysera is just a tad too passive for this deck. In other words, we want to make sure we stay up on the board and get to our Cthulhu. As long as we get to our Cthulhu, I think we're going to be in a good spot. So we might want things that are a little bit more reactive than Ysera, because she builds value over time. We want stuff that stops opponents immediately and pulls us ahead pretty quickly. I'm considering running a Holy Fire just as removal and heal, just to buy us more time that we value. When it comes to minions, Emperor Thorson is usually a pretty good inclusion. You could even get a cheaper Cthulhu out, perhaps. But we don't have combos, so maybe not even Thorson. I think Sylvanas is a good fit for this deck and most decks, in fact. I wish I could add a Dr. Boom, but he's gone. Chromagus is perhaps an okay inclusion just because it's a big body and draws cards, getting us to Cthulhu a little bit faster. I actually think Alexstrasza fits in this deck, and I'll tell you why for a couple reasons. Remember, Cthulhu's effect is that he does damage equal to his attack split among all enemies. So there's a good chance when he hits the board, he's going to have like a 15-20 damage battle cry that hits the enemy's face. If we've reduced their health on turn 9 with Alexstrasza, there might be a chance we just kill them outright on curve with Cthulhu on turn 10. Also, there's a chance we can use Alexstrasza as a heal. Plus, Big Game Hunter got nerfed, so an 8/8 minion feels less risky to play in many ways. So I kind of like Alexstrasza in this deck, and I think she might be a key card in many Cthulhu decks, in fact. One card I forgot that I definitely want to include is Circle of Healing. This one's great because of heal synergies with Northshire Cleric, of course, but also our Hooded Acolyte. We get more buffs with big AoE heals, so there's some potential synergies there as well. So I need one more card. I don't think I need another threat because I do have the Double Entomb to help me develop threats and a pretty smooth curve. I wouldn't mind like a reactive spell, maybe some damage or a buff of some sort. I have Curators to create value as well. The Curators are a little less good without a Velen's Chosen, but I still like them. I might just go ahead and sneak in one Akanai. I could also run a Justicar Trueheart. I think maybe this is the better choice. She gets less good without Akanai Soul Priest, though, simply because you can't ever use your hero power aggressively, but I think just being able to heal a lot is still a significant advantage. Just trying to stay alive. I'm just seeing if there are any other cards that seem to fit or make sense. I think Black Knight will be good in this expansion, but maybe not in this exact deck. I think this might be our deck. I'm sure there are a few tweaks here and there that will make it better, but we have some early game stuff. We have a strong mid game. We got some late game threats and a lot of things to set up our Cthulhu. We didn't go all in on Cthulhu, but I think we have enough to make this a viable, as far as we know at least, a viable version of Cthulhu Priest. So let's commence the Decksperiment and see if we can't win a game or two with this deck. Now, in the future, I'm sure our Decksperiments will be more finely tuned and we'll understand what's happening with the decks across from us. But right now, I have no idea what we're about to see. I haven't laddered much this season, so we're still at rank 11, so these probably won't be the highest tier players in the world since most people have already hit Legend. I'm definitely behind the curve this month. So who knows? they will probably be playing very experimental decks as well. So just even if we win 3 games, it doesn't necessarily mean that our deck is good. It just means we're all trying to figure out the new Old Gods meta 1 card at a time. But hopefully you're still learning and thinking about this. So as far as mulligans go, these are obviously too slow. I don't think I'll need Circle of Healing anytime soon, because I'm not using it as AoE removal with Alchemy Soul Priest. Remember, this is more about generating value. So I'm going to pass on that as well. If I had an Alchemy Soul Priest and I was concerned about board clears, I probably would keep Circle of Healing. I will keep Twilight Elder just because it's a lower cost minion, and there's a good chance we'll need something pretty soon against Shaman. So we drew a nice curve here. These are all solid 2, 3, 4 drops. I'm pretty happy with this. If we get another 2, we might coin out this 2. We're probably going to do it anyway. Just because it looks like he's pretty aggressive with an Argent Squire. That's a scary card. Oh, there's my Cthulhu. Cool. So I want to get the board out early. I can Power Word Shield off mana, or I can attack and heal this to use 2 mana next turn. That's frightening. But, oh, that is actually the perfect draw. Because now I get to spend my mana and keep this alive against his Totem Golem after attacking. Okay. Entombs are a little slow. Probably this looks like an aggro shaman. I expect there will be 2 kinds of decks today. I think there will be people who are all in on Old Gods, playing like crazy fun, late game control Cthulhu decks, and then I think there will be people who are trying to counter all those people to win games. I certainly care less about winning games, and I care a lot more about having fun with Cthulhu. So if we run into a bunch of aggro, this may not be the best expression of this deck, but okay, that's a cool new card. Flame Wreath Faceless. Great in aggro shaman. Thankfully, we do have an answer for it pretty effectively with Shadow Word Death. I don't think we can afford to let that live. It just has too much damage. I would like to play a minion, but well, I am actually going to play a minion. I'm still going to play my Northshire. He's going to have a dilemma if he runs these 2 things in, and it actually trades pretty effectively into those. It could get punished by Lightning Bolt or Rock Biter, but it might also keep our Twilight Elder alive if he feels this is more valuable. He has a dilemma, some friction. So he probably wants to go here, but then he can't kill the Northshire, and I can generate lots of value off the Northshire by killing the Abusive and healing. But I may not heal just yet, because I think I have to get a minion onto the board. I would like to draw, but I just can't afford to right now. I have to get rid of the damage. Plus, I played this as opposed to the Cthulhu's because I think it's more likely he plays multiple small minions, and this trades better into multiple small minions than Cthulhu's Chosen, which typically would trade better into higher cost minions because it has very low health. So it's a little susceptible to low cost stuff. Justicar is a perfect draw here because it's not going to heal me right now, but it's going to enable me to heal in future turns because I'm running out of smooth mana plays. It's all going to be awkward moving forward. So heal 4 against aggro shaman. If I survive this turn, which I don't guess I'm going to. Wow. Okay, we just got steamrolled. He had a great hand though. Doomhammer into Lava Shock to clear the Overload, into Lava Burst, into Rock Biter. That's like the dream. We certainly played that as well as we could have. I think we lost that game no matter what we did. Our deck was not necessarily designed for it, but we had a good early curve, so we should have been fine. So we'll keep going. I'm having a ton of fun. Ooh, cool. Malkarak. I can't wait to see the new Old Gods board in action. It looks a little disappointing, but I still want to play with it too. Alright, so again, we don't know what we're going to find. I'm guessing he's a Cthulhu Paladin, but Aggro Paladin makes a ton of sense too. We'll pass on the 4-drop, but we'll keep everything else. Northshire and Hooded Acolyte have some natural synergies. Of course, Beckoner of Evil is great on turn 2, just as a body. I may turn 1 Northshire as well, just depends on what he does. If he doesn't play a minion, I'd feel better about it, but and if he plays like an Argent Squire, I'd feel fine about it. I'm probably going to do this. He could play a 3-2 and punish me pretty hard. But if he does, I'll just play Beckoner of Evil and be fine. Yeah, so. Oh, actually, that's not a 3-2 anymore. Not punished. Not punished at all. I could debatably attack that and heal myself. If I leave it alone, well, I guess I'm susceptible either way. So I'm just gonna do this. In other words, I'm worried now that if he plays some minions, he can trade in and perhaps kill it with a Knife Juggler ping. But that could have happened anyway if I'd drawn a card. And I have a solid curve. I have a 3 into a 4 into a 5, so I'm not too desperate to draw cards just yet. Divine Strength to me is not a great card, but it worked out really nicely right there, didn't it? In general, I think that card's a little bit underpowered and can hurt a little bit. I'm still gonna... man, this is a little awkward, but... if this will... I mean... I can Disciple this. The battle cries deal 2 damage if you look. We can kill the Knife Juggler, but then this just trades into my 3-drop so efficiently. I just don't know if I want to do that. I'm debating coining out the Hooded Acolyte. Alternatively, I guess this is actually the best play. It's still susceptible to a ping, but and it can obviously trade, but it's a little bit more punishing if he decides to trade that way. And I can coin out the Holy Nova next time. So if that lives with some low health and he plays multiple minions, yeah, I don't actually feel too bad about that. Arcathune does have 10 attack, right? So if we coin out this, we can heal, but we don't need to do that yet. We can still just play our Hooded Acolyte. Trades pretty efficiently. Solid 4-drop. He's struggling. He had a Consecration on 2 minions. I don't think he's happy about that. He needs more minions on the board, probably. So, True Silver, he's going to have to either trade awkwardly or just go face, neither of which are too bad for us. Oh, he might have a nice buff. Yeah, he's going to trade, it looks like. I'm fine with that. We still have good plays. Oh, nice. We proc off the True Silver. That's cool. Not unexpected, but still pretty cool. I don't want to use this yet. We can heal 10, but it feels bad. But I can't Holy Nova. I guess I have to play this just for the body. And we drew our Cthulhu. Sick. Okay, cool. I still feel like his deck, he's not quite sure what he wants to accomplish. It felt like an aggro deck, but he's not playing a lot of minions yet, is he? He's, ooh, that's a good hit. That's a good hit. We need a minion. We need a mid-range minion here. Holy Nova's still a bad play. Yeah, it got a little better, actually, because now... there is some value in knocking off that shield, but still just doesn't feel right. Ah, perfect drop. It dies so easily, but still allows us to build tons of late game value. It's worth sacrificing to the Divine Shield, just because we don't have another play, right? I could Holy Nova. I'd still only kill the Divine Shield in a 1/1, so... oh, that's a scary, scary, scary card. That's going to get buffed. This is what I was expecting earlier. Okay. We can work with this. So we'll play this here. And we will coin out the Holy Nova to kill it. Because I don't think that this can survive. It's much scarier to me than a Knife Juggler. Because I have ways to recover health. I have a big health pool anyway. So I think that that's much more valuable target than the Knife Juggler. I'm sad that this thing has lived virtually forever, though. Oh, that is really brutal. I would like to have that. I'd like to have that knife juggler or that Holy Nova back. Oh, that's a good combo. That is bad news. I can't even. Oh my gosh.
I can't do that.
This is tough. This is a tough spot to be in. I don't think I can play. Well, actually, I might play this. No, it ties for free to the steward. He's going to attack face. If I'm not dead, I might just be dead to buffs. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I doubt I'm dead yet. But I can Alex Raza to stay alive, perhaps. I can now Shadow Over Death that, too. That's actually good. He can't play any minions right now, so all he can do is buff. Oh, I'm glad he went all in, but are we still alive or not? Yeah, we're still alive. We can death, we can heal for 4. Maybe I'm not still alive. Hammer of Wrath kills me. Okay, okay. Alright, so he actually went all in. That's super helpful to us. He should have split those buffs, but he didn't, so... I'm still just dead of the board, though. Shoot. Ah, man! It's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, just 1. Just in general, you should split your buffs like that, because, you know, he lost 2 buffs. Oh, my goodness. That is horrifying. This is the next Decksperiment I want to do, by the way, is an aggro Divine Shield Shaman. I'm not even sure if Blood Knight will make the cut, though. I think you're better off looking for looking to take advantage of your Divine Shields instead of exploit them. Alright, so it seems like everybody's going the aggro route, desperate to win games. That's no fun. I'm sure at the higher ranks people are playing super greedy control decks, but we'll see. I'd like to run into a control matchup here. I'd also like to get my Cthulhu off. At least we saw it. That's fun. Alright, $10. This is another aggro shaman, so I'm going to keep the Acolyte just in case we desperately need a 4-drop. But the other 2 I'll pass. And again, the Acolyte I think is better against aggressive cards, so it's more important to me than the Chosen 4-drop. Yeah, this does indeed seem to be aggro shaman again. The hero power will tell us even more. I'd really like to get a 1-drop. Oh, life tap, interesting. So we'll just pass. We might coin out our Twilight Elder next turn, depending on his board. Hopefully he life taps here. Doesn't play something because we're a little bit behind. I don't want to have to coin just because that throws off my turn 4, because I doubt I'll be able to play Shadow Over Death on 3. Alright, if he splits a mana here, that's not too bad. Yeah, this is not solid. I'm still going to coin this out. I know I said I probably didn't want to, but I can Powered Shield Hero Power next turn, and it doesn't die to the board. So if it trades into a minion and I'm able to heal it, I'll feel okay about that. It's funny to me that Cthulhu is over here and not over my deck, but still a cool visual.
Thank you.
Here's the new WoW emote. Ugh, that's brutal. If he goes face, though, yeah, alright, that's actually helpful to me. That might be good, too. I'm going to Power Shield this first. Okay. So I'm killing the Flame Tongue. Remember, it's worth 4 damage, and those are each only worth 1 and 2, respectively. Or with the Flame Tongue, 4 and 3, respectively. So it's much more threatening. Plus, they could actually attack twice with Flame Tongue, and he could play a charging minion next to the Flame Tongue in the middle for a 6 total attack bonus, which would be terribly frightening. So this is a super, super annoying card. Great in aggro. Good choice for him. Circle of Healing helps me 0 amount. This is not a great turn. This won't matter. Actually, what's my Cthulhu at? He's going to be at 8-8 after this. He'll be at 9-9 after I play Circle of Healing. But next turn, I might be able to heal 10. So I think we might be okay despite being... I could have got him to 10-10 now, guaranteed. Maybe I should have, but I doubt both of these things die. Good, Life Tap slows him down a hair. I think we're in good shape. No efficient trades here, but at least we can kill a couple 2-attack minions. Alright, so I'll Circle of Healing to heal up my guys. That's going to give Cthulhu +2/+2. So he's now over 10. Which means I can play this for a heal 10. Oh, that also, of course, procced my Cthulhu buffs. Wow! I'm still very behind. I need more heals, and Justicar takes 2 turns to heal me, unfortunately. That's a slow turn from him again. That's not bad. This trades pretty decently as well, so... It's a little scary. This doesn't help. I think I have to play Trueheart and hope that that it keeps me alive. Alternatively, I could heal and play minions. And wait till turn 8 for Trueheart, but I don't think I can afford that. This is actually a little bit of a debate. I could kill the Totem Golem with both of these, but I think that this could very easily get to 3, and this allows me to kill a second minion. Whereas that would have only allowed me to kill 1 3-attack minion, so I took care of 2-attack already. It only had to buff once for this to be the better variation of the trade. I might just be dead again. These aggro shamans are brutal. People are farming the greedy Cthulhu decks like mine. That's a good sign again, though. He's slowing down a little bit. He may feel compelled to kill this stuff, too. I'm at 12, 15, 18 damage right now. That's a little bit close to lethal. I'm going to Museum Curator just in case I get a taunt here. I definitely want to heal. Because I have to, because I think I'm dead if I don't. So I'm going to Museum Curator first, though. And see what I get. No taunts. Nothing very good here at all, actually. I'm going to take the Harvest Golem just because I can play it on curve with my heal. So we'll heal here. As far as trades go, I guess I'll sack this minion. And actually trade both of these in here. I'm not going to worry with the Divine Shield because I might just win the game next turn. If I do more damage. I have 9, 12, 13, 15 damage on board, so it's unlikely, but it sets up a good Cthulhu still. If I can get to turn 10, which is probably unlikely. He has 5 cards and 8 mana, and I only have 12 health, so I don't see myself surviving 2 turns. If I draw my other +10 heal, I'm in good shape, maybe. That's about it. That's not scary at all. That's a waste of mana for him, as far as I'm concerned. Oh, wow! He switched! He flipped on me. He got scared. Sick. That is perfect. I'm going to just Shadow Word Death that, heal. Maybe play a Hooded Acolyte. Yeah. Oh, I can't do all those things. Ooh, I'm glad I hesitated a second. We'll heal. And we'll beckon her. And we'll use this to kill it to maximize our remaining damage. And he may concede here. But I hope he doesn't, because I really want to play my Cthulhu. Actually, we have lethal anyway. Shoot! 5, 8, 10, 11, yeah. Unless he makes some damage trades, we'll just win on this play. But I really want to play Cthulhu. Oh, Wolfram Shield! Wow! That's actually a good play! That's a good play for him! Wow! Okay, so I just send it to face, I guess. Oh, I can entomb it and just win the game, right? No, I can't. I don't have enough mana to entomb it to win the game. If I entomb it, I can do... it's still the right play to entomb it, of course, though. Don't concede. Please don't concede, bro. Please don't concede. I want to play my Cthulhu. I haven't even seen it. Don't concede. Don't concede. Oh, yes. Yes. Here it is. Oh, well, that was pretty anticlimactic. I thought we'd get some overkill, but... Oh, well, I guess not. Alright, so that was a pretty good example of my Decksperiment control Cthulhu Priest in action. So I think we'll close it up there. I'm going to run through the deck list one last time so you can take a look at it. Circle Healing, Powered Shield, Northstar Cleric, Beckoner of Evil, Museum Curator, Shadowward Death, Disciple of Cthulhu, Twilight Elder, Cthulhu's Chosen, Hooded Acolyte, Holy Nova, Twilight Darkmender, Entomb, Trueheart, Sylvanas, Veclor, which we didn't actually get to see. I'm a little bit sad about because that's a pretty amazing card. Alexstrasza and Cthulhu. So I'm actually pretty happy with how this deck shapes up. It has a lot of survival mechanisms with Alexstrasza, the heals from Darkmender, Veclor with taunts, heals from Trueheart. Has a strong early game board presence and some good mid-range minions as well, with a 3 through 5 range basically. Has some obviously late game punch with Cthulhu. I like all the pieces. I think it builds up to a big Cthulhu. You notice our Cthulhu was always 15, 20, I think it was 21 at the end, so it's not hard to get a game-winning Cthulhu out of this deck pretty easily while staying alive with removal from Entomb and Shadowward Death. So I definitely have to play this some more to see if it's any good compared to actual competitive decks, but I think it's a good start. It's something to build off of, so I hope you give this deck a try if you've got the cards or can make a few swaps at least. And I hope you had fun watching this Decksperiment. Thanks so much, and until next time, game on.